The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
As Jesus passed by, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the custom post. He said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. While he was at table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat with Jesus and his disciples. The Pharisees saw this and said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" He heard this and said, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'I desire mercy, not sacrifice.' I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
And today we are celebrating the feast of St. Matthew. And it's curious that in all the Gospels, all the writings and all the words, we have probably the most powerful words written, and some of the most meaningful words written, and there are only two words: follow me. See, those are the words that Jesus Christ called out to Matthew. And his response was immediate. His response was complete. He gave away everything. He turned away from his entire life to do exactly what Jesus asked: follow him. And it's a little difficult for us, I imagine, to really grasp what Matthew was in the eyes of especially the Pharisees. I don't think we have that level of disdain for people that the Pharisees had. I don't think I just think we've evolved to a point where we don't look at people with the same harshness that perhaps the Pharisees looked at on him. But it was shocking to them. It was shocking because in their world, someone who was, such as Matthew, a tax collector, someone who was in league with the Romans, someone who took advantage of his fellow Jews, was looked upon with a great amount of, as I said, disdain. That's not even the right word. They were just looked upon as less than the rest. And I guess there are some people that where as we go across our lives, we may look at them and think that they are less. Maybe it's the poor, maybe it's the homeless, maybe it's people who are dealing with substance abuse, and we may tend to think of them as less. But Jesus tells us quite clearly that they are not. That he came to save all. He came to save all sinners. And when we look at what Jesus says to the Pharisees, we may miss the point of what he says. See, he says, go and learn the meaning of the words, I desire mercy, not sacrifice. Now for us, we hear those words, and I don't think they truly resonate as to what they're about. See, this is from Hosea. He was a prophet. He was a prophet at a time when the Israelites, the Jewish people were fairly prosperous, but they were separating themselves from God. They were sacrificing to other gods that their neighbors had. They were involved in military alliances. They were doing everything that God told them not to do. But yet at the same time, they were giving sacrifice. They were giving tithes to the temple. They were doing all the things that good Jews are supposed to do. Yet God was not pleased. Because basically what they were doing was just lip service. They were checking the box. And that's what he's telling the Pharisees. He's telling the Pharisees, don't be concerned about your trivial table manners. Eating with this person, not eating with that person. God's not about that. God's not about the box checking. God's about your heart. God's about the mercy that you show to others. And see, that's what he was trying to get across to the Pharisees. So as we ponder these readings a little bit more, I think it's incumbent upon us, all of us who have obviously, by just being here, in some form or fashion, have answered Jesus' call to follow me. I think it's incumbent upon us to search our hearts and to see how we're following him. Are we following him simply to check a box? Or we are opening our hearts to conversion? Are we opening our hearts to a constant growth in holiness? Are we opening our hearts to mercy? That is what following Jesus is about.